Hello, and we are back with another video. I think this may be 4 or 5 days on the trot now, and it's with some breaking news that Mirko Topić has officially signed for Norwich City. So the announcement dropped at 7 o'clock today, confirming that the Serbian had joined the Norwich side. Obviously, they say around the undisclosed fee, but it's around that 3.5 million euros with that 500 euros added extras. And they've also confirmed as well that it is a 4-year deal with the additional 12 months if we wanted it, and that he will be wearing shirt number 22. Obviously, he's been playing in the Portuguese league for Famalicão, a very strong defensive midfielder that is going to really add some grit and determination into this Norwich squad. For me, yet again, the announcement video is very, very well done. It's getting people excited. It's kind of teasing the kind of player that he is, which by the sounds of it, he's absolute brute force to be reckoned with within the middle of the park. But yeah, once again, Norwich City media team have absolutely smashed it. No surprise there. But yeah, the reception of the signing has gone down exceptionally well with fans. I don't think that's to be too much of a surprise. We've been screaming out for a defensive midfielder, an out-and-out defensive midfielder, really since Tete left. And what's that? That's good, probably nearly 7 odd years ago now, maybe even longer, maybe 8 years actually, because we had Skip come in after him. But even then, I wouldn't say Skip was like Tete, when it's that really just grit that they love to tackle, they love to break down play, and it does seem like we are getting that back, which is really, really exciting. And I think he could really complement the midfielders that we've already got of Wright, Nunes, McLean. Yeah, extremely happy with it, and the rest of the Norwich City fan base seem to think the same thing. They all seem very happy with the signing. So absolutely no arguments there at all. Just a huge positive vibe around the club just before the Millwall game, which is just shortly around the corner. Going into kind of interviews, what's been said since he signed on. Interestingly, he obviously said that he spoke to Kovacevic, who is kind of identifying as Serbian. I know it was announced as like Bosnian, but he's kind of requested to be known as Serbian. He said he spoke to Kovacevic a couple of weeks ago, and also the coach and sporting director. They convinced me to come when they showed me the goals and the ambitions for the season. I didn't have any doubts about joining. So the bit that I find really interesting is that we spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and we've had this Pele Matson deal ongoing for about probably like 4 weeks now or so. And the club have always said that Topić was always a potential alternative to him. And obviously we've had that in the back of the mind for the last couple of weeks now. So it does obviously play into our hands having someone on the inside which knows the club, which they can speak to, get an idea of what the club's like, and is also a newbie. So it also provides a fair reflection on what to expect when Topić comes in. But yeah, it is to be expected he'd do a little bit of digging, and the fact that Kovacevic could provide that glowing reference seems to be one of the reasons that we've managed to get this deal over the line. Just quickly, just over 70% of the people watching this video are not subscribed. We've set a very audacious goal of trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the transfer window. So if you're enjoying the Norwich City updates, you're enjoying these videos and you want to come along for the journey, click the subscribe button down below. And if you want to support the channel as well, click the link in the description and become a member today. We go into the Knapper comments now. So obviously Topić is always going to say he's going to be happy to be here. No player's not going to say that. But in regards to Knapper, he talks about Mirko brings a different profile to our midfield. Delighted he's joining Norwich. We've been following him closely for over 18 months. So we're excited to see him here finally. So one, find it obviously interesting. We've had him on our radar really since Knapper's come in. 2, supposedly Farke was tracking him as well when he was at Norwich. So could have already been known to a few Norwich scouts even before Ben Knapper was here. And the fact other clubs were supposedly interested in him last year, so like Atletico Madrid was supposedly interested in him last year, showing the pedigree of other teams that he could have gone to had they put in a bid. So I think it's safe to say that we knew the profile of the player that we were getting, and that we've identified that's a potential weakness in our squad, and we've been trying to get the right player in rather than panic buying and getting someone that might fit the description that we need but not 100%. So that's a real positive as well. He talks about him being an imposing, commanding figure, fantastic athlete, brings elite defensive attributes that will be invaluable for us. So once again, talking about that defensive midfield attributes that we're all looking for, which is someone that's willing to break down play, be that solid kind of a line of defence before we get into centre backs. I think for quite a few years now, no matter who the centre-backs have been, I think it's nearly always been highlighted that they have no real defence in front of them. And that's always been one of the issues, which has then made them look exposed, potentially worse than what they actually were performing. And this could be solving that issue there. What I would say, though, is if you look at clips of Topić, he's not just a brute. Like, he's got good feet. He's got a brilliant passing range as well. Like, his long distance passing is very good. So don't write him off as just someone that's going to be running around smashing into people. Like, he can play. His attacking outputs aren't amazing, I'll be honest. 1 goal and 2 assists over 2 seasons at Famalicão, but that's not why we've bought him. And to be honest, if he doesn't score for 3 seasons but is the best defensive midfielder in the league, I don't think any of us are really going to care. So he goes on to say that we're convinced he'll complement the rest of our squad really well, and we're all looking forward to seeing what he can achieve together with him this season and beyond. I do think Knapper's identified some real issues within the squad. I think the spine was one of them. I think we needed a kind of big reset there. Does seem that way. Manning's come out and basically said the players that weren't selected yesterday, i.e. Duffy, Hill, Slimani, wasn't due to fitness, it was due to selection. So Duffy's obviously been here a while. Gunn's obviously been here a while. There's an argument that Kenny, due to him being injured, unfortunately, has fallen down the pecking order now. They're all players that have been part of the spine of that team, which maybe have underachieved or just not been able to achieve the performances that we wanted. So the fact that we've identified that, brought in Mehdic, Kovacevic, Darling, now Topić, is really positive in my eyes, and I think that's a really big step in the right direction. I found something quite interesting within the Norwich statement, that actually Topić was born in Serbia's second largest city, which is Novi Sad. And that's actually been twinned with Norwich since 1989, so you could say it was meant to be and it was always going to happen. But yeah, he's worked his way up. He's been within the Serbian setup as well, and yeah, that was in 2023 he made his debut. And just lastly, that the transfer is subject to international clearance and approval by the FA and the EFL, but that's always nearly the case with any player bought in away from England, and that we will have done our research, and that will go without a hitch, I am sure. But yeah, a very exciting time, bringing him in just before Millwall. Does he start against Millwall? I'm not really sure. He's not been involved in Famalicão's last 2 games of pre-season, so he may need a little bit of time to get into the flow of things. I think there's similar things with like Fitzgoran as well. Like, he's only played a few minutes in the last friendly. Diallo played exceptionally well in the last friendly and played a fair few minutes, so he could be a choice for Saturday. We will be doing a full Millwall review as well and getting that out, so we'll cover more of that further down the line. But I genuinely think Topić could be someone that swings the kind of meter of mid-table pushing playoffs to cementing playoffs. I know it's quite easy to get ahead of yourself. Hand up, that is me right now. But I do think one of our big weaknesses was we didn't have huge defensive cover in front of the centre-backs. Even Nunes and McLean would normally realistically drop into those centre-back roles, or Nunes would be more kind of progressive up the pitch. Nunes has never been known for his hard-hitting tackling, and I think Kenny has been more known for his ticking games along and his range of passing, rather than being a destructive centre defensive midfielder, which I think Topić is. So I do genuinely think this could swing us into top 6 contention. I think a lot of people have got us around the 8th or so mark, and I'm praying this is the transfer that puts us going up the table as well. But leave a comment down below what your thoughts are on the Topić signing. I am buzzing. Leave a comment if this maybe also changes your opinion on where you think we would finish this season as well. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe as well. And yeah, we'll see you very shortly for another video. Enjoy your evenings.